What up, y'all? This your girl PK and my right in the place.
Not low right now. Don't excuse your for the second and anything, you know. It ain't low, so be just chilling, blogging about some everyday shit.
Yeah, so what we came up with is the whole coming out scenario. Now, coming out is the worst for lesbians, gay boys, everything, transsexuals, transgender, all y'all, the rainbow community. From my experience, I went about it the wrong way. I lost the trust of my parents.
Hold on. Idaho. Sorry, you had to do it. Go ahead.
I lost trust in my parents, my family, and a lot of my friends too. And at one point, my Christianity was questioned as well too, because I was born and raised in a church. So therefore, from what I grew up with was the fact that when you're that way, when you're a homosexual, that you go straight to hell. What about you? Was you raised on that?
Yeah, basically.
You go straight to hell. So that's what I mean when I say I question my Christianity.
Yeah, I think everybody, I did too. I don't think about it. Yeah.
So now, like, be honest with your parents. Being in this lifestyle, you have to be strong-willed, and strong-minded. And you really gotta try your hardest to be the best. One thing my father always told me was, if you're gonna be in that lifestyle, make sure your sexuality is the last thing they list of all your accomplishments or anything. You don't want nobody to be like, oh, she gay and she ain't doing nothing with herself, she living a mediocre life, all that stuff. You want to be able to say, oh, my daughter is in Congress, my daughter graduated 4.0 and from preschool to grad school, and let the last thing that person say is, but she's a lesbian or she's a lesbian, That should be your sexuality should be your last thing, because when you're doing bad with your sexuality, that's when people start pinpointing that as a reason for you being gay.
Not gospel.
So, a lot of people who's not in this lifestyle feel like it's a disease or it's something to fall back on. So if you're doing drugs, you don't got no job, you ain't doing nothing with yourself, all that stuff, heterosexuals start blaming our homosexuality for that reason. They automatically think that when they're straight, they're gonna automatically do good, nothing but good gonna come to them. But since we're homosexuals, they think we're not gonna make it past what we're supposed to. But there are a lot of successful celebrities that are in that lifestyle, so they give us hope. But back down to what I was saying. Be honest with your parents. Be honest with your family, your guardian, or whatever, because they'll kind of ignore the fact that you're gay, but they will understand and respect you more because you came to them. You cared enough to come to them instead of somebody else coming to them or another person insisting in or whatever. Accept everything for what it is and don't let it get to you. Especially for the ones who want to commit suicide and cut themselves, all that stuff. You don't have to do none of that stuff. Just be honest. They'll go a long way.
You feel so much better about yourself.
Yeah.
So much relief to be gone, so the weight lifted. So I know once I told my mom, I was like, it ain't matter. I mean, people at school, they kind of knew, but I was never out. I didn't come out officially until 10th grade. And when I told my mom, I basically like I was always in the church. Like my mom was in the choir, and we like always in church every Sunday, Tuesday Bible study. And I had told her one day we was going to Bible was getting ready to go to Bible study. And we usually Bible study started like 7:30, so we get ready like around 6 or whatever. So it was like I said like 6:30 or something like that. I know it was getting ready to go. And I was sitting down in the living room, and she was in the kitchen. And I was like, Mom. She was like, yeah. She was like, I think I'm gay. She was like, what? I was like, I think I'm gay. She was like, you think you gay? Cause like I'm still sitting down, cause like I was just thinking like I was like I'm gonna tell my mom, like I always been, you know, saying that I had wanted to tell my mom, my parents or whatever when my daddy wasn't there, like he was at work or whatever. So I was like, you know, whatever. So I told her. So she was like, you think you gay? I was like, yeah, I like girls. She was like, oh, I think I said yeah, cause I think I like girls. She was like, you think you like girls? Like she was just being an echo. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I know I don't like boys, but I mean, I like girls, and I mean, I think I'm gay. She was like, okay. And then she had went in her room, and she had locked the door, and she started crying. She had went in her closet, started crying and shit. And then, like, she was just getting mad and everything. At first she was crying or whatever, then I had Bear could open the door, whatever. Finally opened the door, and she was just like, you know, just couldn't believe me, you know, why I couldn't tell her before. Because actually, before I had came out to her, it was this girl at my damn church, in my school. I think she was in my church first, then she came to my school. And like, she was the only gay girl in church, openly gay girl. And she had, I hated that hoe. I'm not supposed to hate nobody. I strongly disliked her just because I knew she liked me, and then she was just always she would just always stare at me, and she was real ugly. She looked like a duck, and just ugly. Anyway.
She was a style.
No, she was a ugly. Probably, I guess, a film, but yeah. So anyway, make a long story short, she was the only gay girl or whatever. And then she came to my school, and I was like, damn, now she at my school. And I was in the gay group at school and shit. And so she came in the gay group too or whatever. And what happened? She had went, like I said, she was at my church, and my sister, she had went out to eat with a bunch of the girls that went to church or whatever. And she happened to be one of the girls. She didn't know my sister, nothing like that, but you know, they had went out the same crew. And she basically, I guess they had like a talk at dinner. The gay subject came up, that she was gay and all that shit. And I guess she asked my sister if I was gay or something like that. I mean, like saying something about having a gay family member. And my sister was like, well, I ain't got nobody gay in my family, so, you know, I ain't got nothing to worry about or something like that. And so my sister had called us. We was at dinner, family dinner at the church. And we was at the dinner table and the phone rang. My sister called the phone. She called, and she was crying. She was like, Chandra, give me over the phone. I'm like, what's wrong? What happened? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? She's like, I can't tell you, put me on the phone. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking somebody died that she heard. I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? If you crying hysterical, like, tell me, you know? So I'm like, Mom, you know, Shantae called, she's on the phone, whatever, she's crying. She's like, what? Went right, grabbed the phone. And she's like, what? Who? What? Hang up the phone, stormed in her room. She's like, Shantae, come here. I'm like, me? What? Huh? Okay. So I went back in there, and she was like, tell me the truth. Actually, this one time, just tell me the truth. So Shantae told me she had at dinner with some girl from the church, and she's saying that you're gay, that you're a lesbian. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who girl? What? No, what? You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, anyway, the girl, she's on her way now. She's on her way here with your sister to come talk to me right now. We're going to get to the bottom of this. I'm like, what? Really? So, man, the girl went and told, you know what I'm saying, told my sister and all that shit. Make a long story short, the girl came to my house, and she was like, she brought her my mama room, which was us three. And she was like, ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt your Sunday. I will not lie to you like this. I'm a Christian. I mean, although I'm lesbian, blah, 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 blah. I will not lie to you, disrespect you in your house. But your daughter is gay, you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, Mom, she lying, you know what I'm saying? Just calling the girl a lie, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so I never admitted to my mom until that day. I had, maybe months later, finally came out and told her. But it felt so much better after that. Like I said, people at school already knew. But I was on a basketball team and shit. I was on a basketball team because I like basketball too, but because there was a bunch of gay girls at my school that went on that team. So But yeah, man, I just felt so bad. Everybody was like, yeah, man, we already knew you was gay. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? Like, everybody's reaction was like, oh, we already knew. So 9 times out of 10, if you gay, people already gonna know the people who you gonna come out to and tell. So just tell somebody instead of holding shit in. It's better to let it out than keep it in.
And hiding and shit and being unhappy. Because I was unhappy for a long ass time because my mom was still trying to make me wear girly clothes and shit.
Hell yeah, I hated that shit. Oh my god.
All that. So it was like, you know, if you want to start happy and be successful and be less stressed about school and everything, tell your family, tell your parents, let them know. Regardless if they accept you or not, at least you had the respect enough to tell them. Because one thing I didn't understand, but I do understand now, is that your actions reflect on your family members too. So if everybody's seeing you out and about with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever, and then your family, you know what I'm saying, they go to your family about this shit, you already know. You already know what's gonna happen.
So the bottom line is, if you gay, like what Ricky Smiley used to say, it's better to let it out and be ashamed than hold it in and bust a vein. And that's true. It also works for a fart. If you're a little constipated, let it out. Because if you're holding that fart, you know, it's going to build up something. You might bust a vein. You don't want to do that. You know, just let it out. You're going to burst yourself. I'm not saying you're going to shit on yourself, but you may bust a vein and want to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let that be a thing. But, yeah,
if you're ashamed of it, then you don't need to do it. If you're going to be ashamed of it, don't do it. You're supposed to be proud of what you do.
Fuck that. If they're ashamed of it, it's in them. They're ashamed. They still need to do that shit.
No, you're not supposed to be ashamed of your lifestyle.
But if they're ashamed of it, but they still feel like it, I mean, it's in them. But they're ashamed. They need to get over it. Not, don't say nothing. Right.
No, I said don't do it. I said if you're ashamed of something, then don't do it. If you're going to be ashamed of the lifestyle, you're going to have to, first of all, try to live that lifestyle and live a straight life. Hiding it from your parents, hiding it from everybody and all that shit. It's too much. So if you're ashamed of it, just don't do the shit. Just hold it till you can, shit. But don't try to do two at the same time. That's like splitting yourself in half. You drain easy.
Alright, well that's it for that one. That one's like way overboard. Almost like 15 minutes. 12.
Yeah. If you got any questions and all that stuff, let us know.
What your name is on Instagram? That shit is all complicated and shit. Facebook. How many names you got on Facebook? You got like 2,000 names.
Not Instagram, Swayze Cherokee.
Swayze Cherokee? That's your name now? You changed it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Cal.
Twitter, okay. Cal Parker Swag.
Y'all know me, Sean. Already. Don't hate. Out.